Hi everyone, I'm Urs.
Hi, I'm Karl Taylor.
And welcome to the next how-to. Karl, white products, white background.
Always tricky.
Always tricky, but you have the solution for us.
Well, we have a solution, and I'm working a little bit outside of my normal comfort zone because, as you and I, we're both very familiar with working with Studio Flash. Here, we're using the new broncolor LED lights, and quite an interesting way of working because we're working with continuous light.
Right.
And the reason I've chosen to demonstrate these new continuous light LED products is that a lot of photographers, or new photographers that is, people new to it, they kind of fear flash because flash isn't something you can see when it happens, and many people seem to want to work in a more visual way where they can just see what it looks like continuously.
Exactly, yeah. So what you see with your eyes is actually what you get in the photograph later on.
Exactly, and the other great benefit of continuous lighting like this is it's also really useful for video because we need continuous light for video. Now in this instance where, for example, we've got a Packshot here, so it could be something for a small e-commerce company, e-commerce little studio. A lot of those type of e-commerce companies also want to do video 360s of their products. So as well as being able to take high quality pack shots, this could be on a white turntable and they could be doing a 360 spin on a piece of jewelry, on a cosmetic or whatever it is. Here we're just demonstrating it as a still life. But one of the fantastic things I really like about these broncolor LEDs is the variable color temperature. That is a big plus because many continuous lighting, as you know, used to be tungsten based. So we were dealing with sort of 3,200 Kelvin or warmer light, and you'd have to correct that color balance. Here, with these lights, we can set them from
2,800 all the way up to 6,800 Kelvin.
Okay, so we can go really warm to really cold.
Exactly.
And 5,600, which we're using now, is actually the same color as daylight and flash.
And just to mention one more aspect, you know, if you have something moving very fast and you want to make a high-speed video, this is possible as well because LED is flicker-free.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Now, for this setup, I'm keeping it quite simple. I actually think I could have done this setup with two lights. This is the 60-100 softbox.
Yes.
And actually, this is a really nice size in the horizontal format for products this size because we can allow a little bit of backlighting around behind the product, but we still got plenty at the front. And it's obviously plenty high enough to cover the height of a product like this.
And then some stuff in front of it?
Some flags. I mean, but people might not be familiar with this if you're new to photography, but quite simply, we're shooting white on white products. And one of the problems you get with white on white, as you know, is that you'll lose the edges. So we've got a simple black velvet flag here, which is casting a shadow on this bottle, and it also sometimes picks up a little bit of the sort of the reflection of it sometimes, depending on the surface material. And that gives us just a shadow edge down this side of the product. And what we've done here is we've raised it off the ground because we don't need the shadow all the way down. We want to make sure that the label is catching the light down here as well. The second softbox is smaller, the 35x60. This is just acting as a gentle fill. But the key one, or one of the important ones, is the ability to use a softbox, in this case the 90x120, and actually use it as your white background. A lot of times photographers, we're struggling with lighting a background, a white wall or white paper with one or two lights and trying to get even illumination. But one way of doing that is if your background area isn't too large for small products like this, is actually just use the whole softbox panel.
Exactly, yeah.
And the great thing with the broncolor softboxes is they're very homogeneous, even light spread, so we can get a really good, nice, pure white white background.
I think from the understanding it's quite important that this is the largest softbox in the set, because like this we can put it far away.
Yes,
Even
absolutely.
if it's far away, it doesn't lose the brightness, but it has less effect on the object.
Very good point, very good point. We're going back to the physics there in lighting. So as you said, the illumination when it's directly into the camera, it doesn't matter how far away this is, the luminosity value will be the same. I mean, there are minor little details for atmospheric conditions, but if the pure atmosphere in a vacuum, exactly, it'll be exactly the same. But what it would affect if it was closer is the light would then start to affect the product. But having it back at a distance, it's not affecting the product at all. Okay, I think what I'd like to do is to show our viewers one light at a time, starting with just the pure white background. So we'll turn these two lights off. It's going to get a little bit dark because obviously we can't use the video lights. This is one thing that's worth pointing out as well here, is that with the continuous light setting, obviously you're dealing with any light that is coming into your shot. So you do need to be working in a darkened studio or darkened area. Right, let's take our first shot. We're working with a Nikon 35mm full frame camera with a 105mm macro lens. And here we can see the background light coming in, giving us value of 255, which is pure white, and a nice clean pure white on the base. These two softboxes have a white surface front. They're reflecting light back onto the product. If we pulled those away now,
it's completely black.
It would be pretty much a silhouette. Let's add our first light on this side, our key light. And
ready? I shoot.
Yep, you shoot. And we have now just the lighting on that side. You could do this as a two light set, and I'm going to just introduce a mirror now to show how we can even economize a little bit more. I'm just going to go in here and hold this in position, and we'll see even a mirror around about here, you'll see how much extra light that brings in. There you go. So we've got a lot of extra light coming into here just with a mirror alone. And it's quite a nice contouring as well.
I think personally, when I have to shoot a whole bunch of different products, I would prefer to have the softbox there, because if you have darker bottles, you know, you can very quickly adjust it. It works with the mirror perfectly on the white, but all of a sudden you have like a dark blue, and then of course you're much more flexible with an active softbox there.
Absolutely. With a softbox there, you've got total control on how much light you want to put in. So you can go in from minimal amount of light, or you can dial it right up, and like you say, for darker objects, darker products. So we're just going to turn that back on, and let's take another one there, please, Urs.
Done.
So now we have light coming in from the softbox. So you can see it got a little bit lighter, and if we compare to no light, that's no light, but you'll see we go a little bit lighter this time with it as a fill light by just having it on a very minimal amount of power. No cutout required. We've got all pure whites. You could literally take that image and put it straight onto your catalog.
Out of camera, it's ready.
Out of camera, it's ready. And the beauty with this type of e-commerce product shot is if you've got similar sort of products to shoot, you can simply take the product, replace it, put the next ones in, the next ones in. If you have some variability, like you said, in color of the product, then you just got to dial these light powers up and down to match. So
it works on the shiny part. Here we have some shine, still works.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really great.
Yeah, very happy with that.
So Karl, there's one more thing I would like to show you.
Yep.
If we take the softbox off, you actually see how the light is constructed. It has an external, not flash tube, but an external light source in the end. Behind this matte protecting glass, there's the LED, obviously. But we can focus and defocus the lamp head. And we can not only use soft boxes, but as well paras, deep umbrellas, normal umbrellas, of course soft boxes, all kind of normal reflectors, grids. So it's a perfectly shapeable LED with the same light characteristics as our flashes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that protruding dome allows you to benefit from light shapers and other modifiers that flat panel LEDs wouldn't allow you to do.
That's, for me, as a creative photographer, one of the biggest advantages of this LED light.
Absolutely, fantastic. Well, hope you enjoyed that how-to on e-commerce pack shots and how you can also use these LED lights for video as well. I'm Carl Taylor.
I'm Urs. Thank you very much, Carl. It was very nice.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.